Welcome, seekers of the forbidden, to a journey into the shadows of history, a voyage into a secret that has long been shrouded in mystery and veiled in whispers of darkness. Tonight, I invite you to open your minds and steel your hearts as we explore a tale where power, greed, and an unholy conspiracy collide upon the fateful night of the Titanic's demise. Picture, if you will, the grandeur of the Titanic, an ocean liner of unparalleled luxury, gliding across the Atlantic under a starlit sky, its decks alive with the laughter and dreams of its passengers. But beneath the shimmering facade and gilded opulence, there lurked a sinister force, a malevolent plan orchestrated by one of the most powerful men of his time, J.P. Morgan. Imagine a dark, atmospheric wide shot of an ancient dockside, bathed in eerie lighting, the fog thick as secrets, the moon casting unnatural shadows over weathered stone. Hidden symbols, barely perceptible, seem to whisper of dark pacts and forbidden rituals. As you listen, remember that this is no ordinary tale of maritime tragedy. It is a descent into the underbelly of human ambition and otherworldly influence. In the echo of crashing waves and the murmurs of the cold wind, secrets of the past beckon with a haunting allure. Each ripple in the water carries a memory of treachery and clandestine meetings, where deals were struck in the dead of night and souls were bartered in silence. What if the catastrophic sinking was not an accident, but a meticulously crafted plan to obliterate evidence and rewrite history? Consider that every shattered piece of metal and every lost life might have been sacrificed to serve a darker, more insidious agenda. Let your imagination drift to a place where the boundary between reality and nightmare blurs. In this narrative, the ghost of ambition and despair lingers like a specter, reminding us that power can corrupt absolutely. The Titanic, a monument to human ingenuity and folly, may have been manipulated as a pawn in a game far more complex than simple misfortune. Tonight, we challenge you to see beyond the surface, to peer into the abyss where history and horror intertwine. As we stand on the precipice of the unknown, the chilling truth beckons. Each detail of this conspiracy is meticulously hidden beneath layers of deceit, waiting to be unearthed by those brave enough to seek the truth. Prepare yourself for a journey that will not only revisit a maritime disaster of epic proportions, but will also unravel a conspiracy that stretches into the heart of the world's financial empire. Welcome to a realm where every shadow hides a secret, every echo carries a warning, and the past is alive with unholy machinations. Now, as you sit in the dark, let these words penetrate your soul. The air chills and silence deepens, while the boundary between myth and reality dissolves, revealing an ominous murmur, a secret so dreadful it defies comprehension. This whisper of terror invites you to uncover hidden truths beneath. To understand the roots of this chilling conspiracy, we must return to the early years of the 20th century, when ambition and innovation reshaped the world, and the boundaries between commerce and occult mystery blurred into unsettling obscurity. The year was 1912, and the Titanic, the grandest ship ever built, was heralded as a marvel of modern engineering. Commissioned by some of the wealthiest industrialists of the age, her construction was a testament to mankind's relentless pursuit of progress and luxury. Yet, behind the gleaming exterior and the promises of invincibility, there existed a network of influential figures with interests far beyond the mundane. Among these figures loomed J.P. Morgan, a titan of finance whose empire spanned continents and whose influence penetrated the highest echelons of power. J.P. Morgan, a man whose name was synonymous with opulence and authority, was no stranger to the darker currents of fortune. Born into a world where money was the ultimate arbiter of fate, Morgan's rise was marked by both brilliant successes and ruthless decisions. His investments were not limited to industry and infrastructure. Whispered rumors suggest that his interests extended into the esoteric realms, where ancient symbols and secret societies held sway. Some historians claim that Morgan was deeply involved with enigmatic organizations whose rituals promised wealth and immortality. It is within this shadowy framework that the Titanic finds its place, not merely as a vessel of luxury, but as a floating altar for clandestine rituals. Historical records show that J.P. Morgan held significant sway over the financial underpinnings of the Titanic's construction. Documents from the era reveal secret meetings held in dimly lit rooms, where powerful men debated not only the future of commerce but also the nature of destiny itself. In the midst of these high-stakes discussions, a covert plan was allegedly hatched, a plan that would utilize the Titanic as a sacrificial pawn in an arcane gamble with forces unknown. Detailed archival files, though often dismissed by mainstream historians, hint at extraordinary transactions involving insurance policies, shipbuilding contracts, and mysteriously large sums of money funneled into seemingly unconnected ventures. These financial maneuvers, cloaked in secrecy, have long raised questions about the true purpose behind the grand design of the Titanic. As we sift through the dusty ledgers and faded correspondence of that era, a pattern of ominous coincidences begins to emerge. There are accounts of meetings held in the backrooms of venerable banks and private clubs, where discussions veered into topics that seemed to defy logic, talk of curses, ancient prophecies, and the harnessing of supernatural energies to secure worldly success. Some letters even reference a final voyage meant not solely to transport passengers across the Atlantic, but to serve as a ritualistic offering to appease dark, otherworldly entities. The Titanic, with its intricate design and state-of-the-art technology, was seen by those in the know as a vessel capable of channeling forces beyond human control. In one particularly damning account, a retired engineer recounted how, during the ship's construction, unusual symbols were discovered etched into the hidden corners of the blueprint drafts. These symbols bore an uncanny resemblance to those found in ancient grimoires, a fact that sent shivers down the spine of those who later pieced together the puzzle. The engineer, a man of science and practicality, was haunted by the notion that these markings were not mere coincidences but deliberate signatures of a ritualistic blueprint. His warnings were dismissed as the ramblings of an overactive imagination, yet they have since become one of the many threads woven into the tapestry of this conspiracy. Further scrutiny of financial records from that time reveals perplexing anomalies. Massive sums of money were allocated to insurance schemes and maritime ventures in the months leading up to the voyage. It is as though every fiscal maneuver was designed to set the stage for an eventual calamity, a meticulously orchestrated downfall cloaked in the guise of a tragic accident. Conspiracy theorists argue that the sinking of the Titanic was not an unforeseen misfortune, but rather the fulfillment of a dark contract, sealed by the powerful hands of those who sought to control fate through wealth and mysticism. Moreover, whispers of secret societies that counted J.P. Morgan among their elite members have persisted through the decades. These societies, rumored to convene in underground chambers and hidden cathedrals, were said to perform arcane rites aimed at bending the natural order of the world. In this context, the Titanic's journey was interpreted not as a mere voyage across the Atlantic, but as a symbolic procession, a grand sacrament and a ritual that would bring about an era of unbridled power, yet at a devastating cost. Thus, the historical context of the Titanic's tragedy is steeped in a web of financial intrigue and esoteric mysteries. The interplay between high finance and ancient rituals paints a picture of a meticulously planned catastrophe, where every seemingly accidental misfortune was in fact a calculated sacrifice. History trembles. If you've made it this far, you're already part of the mystery. But we need your help to uncover the truth. Hit like, subscribe, and comment your theories below. The more we dig, the deeper this nightmare gets. Let's continue, my friend. Standing at the crossroads of history and the supernatural, the conspiracy surrounding the Titanic deepens with every new revelation. In hushed tones and cryptic whispers, eyewitnesses have recounted inexplicable phenomena that defy logical explanation. Survivors and descendants of those aboard the ill-fated ship speak of mysterious figures wandering the decks in the dead of night, their eyes glowing with an unearthly light. There are accounts of secret meetings held in the aftermath of the tragedy, where shadowy figures discuss the true motives behind the disaster with an unsettling calm. Some claim that the sinking was not a mere accident, but a premeditated act orchestrated by unseen hands, driven by the insatiable greed of an elite cabal led by J.P. Morgan himself. Recent investigations have unearthed chilling pieces of evidence that lend credence to these unsettling claims. Among them are a series of encrypted documents discovered in a long-forgotten safe within the bowels of a derelict bank vault. These documents contain cryptic references to ritualistic sacrifices and covert financial schemes that suggest a deliberate orchestration of disaster. Researchers have also uncovered testimonies from secret society members who spoke in vague terms of an ancient pact sealed with blood and gold. Their words, filled with ominous overtones and dire warnings, point to a conspiracy that reaches far beyond the realms of ordinary criminality. Delving into the murky depths of maritime archives, investigators have encountered testimonies that challenge accepted narratives. One sailor, whose voice trembles even in memory, described a night when the ship seemed to be haunted by phantoms of the deep. He recalled how an inexplicable fog descended upon the ocean, blanketing the Titanic in a shroud of spectral light. In that eerie silence, he claimed to have seen a figure clad in a dark suit, its eyes void of emotion, silently directing the course of the doomed vessel. Such accounts have ignited a frenzy among conspiracy theorists, who argue that these apparitions were not random, but meticulously orchestrated signals to fulfill a hidden agenda. Amidst the swirling fog of uncertainty, a particularly disturbing piece of evidence has emerged from an unexpected source. A long-forgotten diary, retrieved from the wreckage of a nearby ship, contains cryptic entries that allude to secret liaisons and prearranged disasters. The diary's author, a disillusioned cabin steward, wrote of midnight meetings in shadowy corridors and whispered conversations about sacrifices made to avert even greater calamities. His writings detail an atmosphere of dread, where every stroke of his pen resonated with the weight of impending doom. The pages speak of a convergence between mortal ambition and supernatural design, a convergence that would come to define the Titanic's tragic fate. At this juncture, if you've made it this far, you're already part of the mystery. But we need your help to uncover the truth. Hit like, subscribe, and comment your theories below. The more we dig, the deeper this nightmare gets. As the layers of secrecy peel away, more disturbing testimonies come to light. A retired steward recalls witnessing bizarre electrical disturbances on the ship's control panels mere moments before the iceberg collision, a phenomenon that some attribute to supernatural interference. An oceanographer, whose career has spanned decades of research into maritime anomalies, described an unexplainable surge of energy emanating from the wreck site, as if the very bones of the Titanic were resonating with otherworldly power. These accounts, while diverse in detail, converge on a single unsettling truth, that the Titanic was a nexus for forces far beyond human reckoning, manipulated by those who dabbled in the occult. Adding to the enigma, several independent researchers have documented inexplicable alterations in the ship's original blueprints. In one startling discovery, plans revealed hidden chambers and passages that no public record ever acknowledged. Some theorize that these concealed structures were intended for clandestine meetings and secret rituals, providing a perfect stage for occult practices under the guise of luxury. Photographs taken from the remnants of the ship's hull display odd, almost geometrical carvings, symbols that align with those found in ancient occult manuscripts. Such evidence has fueled further speculation that the Titanic was engineered not just as a marvel of technology, but as a deliberate conduit for dark, supernatural forces. In the final analysis, the mosaic of evidence paints a picture of a meticulously crafted design, one where financial acumen and occult practices converge to create an orchestration of despair. Every anomalous event, every spectral witness, and every cryptic document forms a piece of this grand, horrifying puzzle. The narrative that unfolds suggests a reality where the forces of greed and the supernatural are not mutually exclusive but are in fact intertwined in a sinister ballet. It is a narrative that dares to challenge our most basic assumptions about fate, power, and the very nature of reality. In this shadowed realm, truth is as elusive as a ghost, and the line between man and myth dissolves into darkness. As the mystery continues to unfold, every new discovery only deepens the enigma. Shadows linger over the corridors of power, and secrets long buried claw their way to the surface. Each whisper and every fragment of evidence beckon us to look closer, to question relentlessly. The journey into this dark conspiracy leaves us with more questions than answers, challenging our perceptions of history and reality alike. We stand at the edge of an unknown abyss, compelled to peer into the darkness and embrace the unsettling truth. In the realm of scientific inquiry and paranormal speculation, the mysteries surrounding the Titanic's demise have invited a host of theories that challenge conventional wisdom. Some experts propose that anomalous magnetic fields, generated by the ship's unique steel composition, could have interacted with geomagnetic disturbances, triggering inexplicable electrical phenomena. Others suggest that these disturbances were artificially induced, a result of experimental energy fields harnessed by occult practitioners. The very architecture of the Titanic, with its intricate design and secret compartments, may have been imbued with symbolic significance, acting as a physical conduit for supernatural energies. Modern science has sought to measure and analyze these peculiar phenomena through advanced technologies such as thermal imaging, electromagnetic sensors, and satellite anomaly detection. In controlled experiments, researchers have observed fluctuations in energy levels around the relics recovered from the Titanic's wreck, suggesting that some form of residual activity may persist even after decades underwater. Thermal imaging studies have revealed cold spots and unusual heat signatures that do not correlate with the surrounding environment, hinting at the possibility of an unseen force at work. These scientific anomalies have sparked heated debates among experts, with some arguing that they may be the vestiges of a powerful, otherworldly energy source. Paranormal theorists, however, contend that the Titanic was a deliberate stage for occult rituals, designed to harness and channel spectral forces. They argue that certain architectural features of the ship, such as hidden compartments and cryptic engravings, were intentionally incorporated as part of a grand esoteric design. According to these theories, the ship's layout was meant to facilitate the flow of supernatural energy, creating hotspots where the veil between worlds was exceptionally thin. In this view, the catastrophic events that unfolded were not random, but were triggered by the activation of dormant energies through precise, ritualistic alignments. Critics of the paranormal interpretations caution against embracing theories that stretch the limits of scientific plausibility. They assert that natural explanations, such as corrosion-induced structural weaknesses and unpredictable ocean currents, are more likely culprits behind the disaster. Yet, these conventional explanations fail to account for the persistent anomalies recorded in both physical remnants and eyewitness testimonies. The debate continues as experts from diverse fields, ranging from marine engineering to quantum physics, seek to reconcile the observable data with the extraordinary claims. This ongoing dialogue serves as a reminder that, even in an age of advanced technology, some mysteries remain impervious to simple categorization. Ultimately, the fusion of scientific inquiry and paranormal interpretation leaves us with more questions than answers. The interplay between measurable phenomena and inexplicable occurrences challenges our understanding of natural law. Whether the Titanic was a victim of flawed engineering, an experiment in occult manipulation, or a confluence of both remains unresolved. Each new piece of data invites further scrutiny and fuels an enduring debate. As researchers continue to probe the depths of this mystery, the truth may lie hidden in the liminal space between the known and the unknown, awaiting discovery. The quest for truth endures with unwavering resolve always. In the echoing corridors of personal memory, the human element of this dark conspiracy emerges with startling clarity. Survivors and family members of those lost to the Titanic's ill-fated journey share accounts filled with dread and inexplicable encounters. One such account comes from a distant relative of a crew member who recounts a dream so vivid it haunts him to this day. In his dreams, he sees a shadowy figure standing on the deck of the doomed ship, its eyes filled with a sorrow so profound it chills the soul. His words resonate with a deep-seated fear that the disaster was not an accident, but a deliberate act of malevolence. Another chilling testimony comes from an investigative journalist who spent years uncovering the hidden truths behind the tragedy. In a series of interviews, he encountered individuals whose lives were irrevocably changed by encounters with inexplicable forces. One witness, an elderly stowaway who survived the initial sinking, describes waking from a nightmare to find a mysterious handprint on the wall of his cabin, a mark he insists was not made by human hands. His description is vivid, an imprint, glowing faintly with an unnatural luminescence, as if it were a scar left by the hand of fate itself. This encounter, among many others, has left him with a lingering sense of being watched by unseen forces. Perhaps the most disturbing account is that of a researcher who dedicated his life to investigating the paranormal aftermath of the Titanic disaster. After conducting multiple site visits to the wreck and interviewing numerous survivors, he began experiencing unsettling phenomena himself. At night, he reported hearing disembodied voices echoing through abandoned corridors, and he often found his equipment inexplicably malfunctioning in the presence of a cold, oppressive force. His journal entries are replete with detailed observations of spectral figures, inexplicable temperature drops, and a pervasive feeling of dread that seems to emanate from the very depths of the ocean. Each encounter, meticulously recorded in his weathered notebook, reinforces the belief that the tragedy was more than a mere maritime accident. It was a deliberate orchestration of terror. These personal accounts, laced with sorrow, fear, and the inexplicable, provide a human face to the horror that surrounds the Titanic's legacy. They remind us that behind every conspiracy theory lies the raw, unfiltered pain of loss and the enduring impact of trauma. The testimonies speak of a presence that defies the boundaries of life and death, an entity that lingers in the memories of those who experienced it firsthand. In whispered conversations and late-night recollections, survivors speak of moments when time itself seemed to stand still, when a cold hand brushed against their skin and a voice whispered secrets of impending doom. Such encounters are etched indelibly into their souls, urging us to look beyond statistics and technical analyses to the deeply personal realm of human suffering and mystery. In every chilling recollection lies a plea for justice, echoing across the void of time. May their voices never fade. Having traversed the murky depths of conspiracy, history, and the supernatural, we now stand at the precipice of our own understanding. The story of the Titanic, entwined with the dark ambitions of J.P. Morgan, leaves us with more questions than answers. What began as an engineering marvel turned into a stage for occult rituals and shadowy dealings, where every disaster was imbued with a sinister purpose. As you reflect on these revelations, consider the possibility that the forces shaping our world are not always visible, nor are their methods ever straightforward. The whispers of the past echo through the corridors of power, and the secrets of that fateful night continue to haunt the living. Every hidden document, every spectral testimony, and every unexplained anomaly compels us to ask, who truly controls our destiny? Is it mere chance, or is there a deliberate hand guiding the course of history? In this realm of mystery and dread, the line between myth and reality blurs, leaving us to confront the disturbing truth that perhaps the greatest horrors are not born from nature, but from the calculated ambitions of those in power. As we conclude this chilling exploration, I urge you to ponder the enigma further and share your insights with others who dare to seek the truth. Subscribe and leave a comment, for every voice adds a new thread to this ever-expanding tapestry of darkness and revelation. What will you do when you confront the possibility that the past is not dead, but merely waiting in the shadows? Will you dare to face the truth that lies hidden beneath the veneer of our familiar world? As the golden twilight fades into the encroaching darkness, remember that some questions may forever remain unanswered. What is the price of knowledge, and will you pay it? Thank you for joining us on this chilling expedition into the heart of darkness. Until our paths cross again, keep your eyes open and your mind alert, because sometimes, the scariest mysteries are those that lurk just beyond the edge of our understanding. And perhaps, in the quiet moments before sleep, you might hear the faint echo of a whisper, urging you to explore the secrets of the abyss.